Here you go, friend.
Thanks. Cool costume.
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
I just wish you could all see the Earth the way that I see it. Because when you really look at it, it's just one world.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. In my world, it means hope.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. Absolute Superman #2. Love the return of the old DC Bullet. Here we see Superman surrounded by what looks to be a bunch of peacemakers. So, alright. And Lazarus is life. I love the cover art. The cover art, the artist. Rafa Sandoval, who also does the inside. I like him. He's my type of artist. Here we have one of the variants. There were quite a few variants for this issue. I was actually surprised for a #2 how many variants there were, but I like this one here. And another one here, $5.99. My goodness gracious, $6 for a comic book. All right. So, Krypton, the Red Lance, 6 years ago. So, Kal-El is reading up on some of his studies here. And the teacher, he's having remote learning even way back then. So, Kal-El, I'm confused about what you turned in here. Your story about the dangers faced by the loggers in the glass forest of Eureka is quite descriptive, but it doesn't appear to employ any generative text at all. You did source this directly from the Cleric's Luminarium, didn't you? And Kal-El says, I wrote it. Cal, I can't see you, and please speak up. Love this, the robot. He says, I wrote it. And the teacher's like, you wrote this yourself? That's... Cal, the Luminarium contains all knowledge of the Science League from throughout Kryptonian history and can answer any question we might ever possibly ask. Why would you? And then she continues here. Cal, I'd like to talk with you and your parents after class. Broxo, flawless work in the sustainability of sunstone mining. So, here's Crypto right next to him. So, all right. And so now we are here. And so get on your knees, says Lois Lane here. This is a different, the absolute version is DC's version of the Ultimate Universe. So, Lois Lane here, you're being detained by the authority of Lazarus Corporation. On your damn knees now. So, of course, the AI is speaking to him and says, Kal-El, you must flee. And so, Lois goes, hey. And Superman says, okay, let me just... he goes, I can't break this. And Lois Lane says, put your hands behind your back. And Superman says, what are these chuffs made of? And the AI says, cuffs, Cal, you're weakened, you're vulnerable. I'm chuffed to her. What do you want me to do? So rip her arm? And so she, of course, blasts him with whatever that energy is, of course. I will deal with the handcuffs, says the AI. This is Agent Lane. Target's suit is reactive. It's crawling up my arm. And Superman says, just don't hurt her. Cal, I'm not the one you should be worried about, says the AI here as everybody's got their weapons pointed. Freeze in the name of Lazarus. So, got a nice double page spread here. And all these guys are like, let her go. Suspect is resisting arrest. Attacking Lane. Did you hear that? He said he's going to hurt her, which of course he didn't. And they all start shooting at him. And of course, he protects Lois here. So, Lois Lane says, let me go. Get this thing off me. And Superman's like, did she forget who she's the one who chuffed me? Instead of saying cuff. And the AI says, fascinating. This metal reforms itself as quickly as I can sever it. It will take some time. And Superman says, we don't have time. I can't do this and she shoots him again. And Superman's like, stop doing that. And she's like, oh, so now you're talking to me. And Superman says, yes, because you're making it very difficult to save your life. She says, Lazarus doesn't want you dead, just on your knees. Do it, and this will all be over. Here we got some choppers and this tank thing here. The chuffs and the AI's like, cuffs, and not yet. Then use the dust to hold onto her. Hey, talk to me, pal. I'm right here. I'm the only one who can help you, she says. And Superman says, don't let this tear her in half. And she's like, what? And Superman takes off here, and they're like, holy hell, he's flying. Hey, keep this channel clear of grab-ass. Act like peacemakers. Understood. Target is airborne. Requesting permission to engage. Look at this. Helicopter and a tank combined into one here. And, of course, Lois Lane is just screaming here as that AI is kind of protecting her. So I really enjoyed the first issue, and so I'm hoping the second issue is just as good. I have not read it yet. I'm reading it with you guys for the first time here. So and so they say permission granted, but the director wants the target intact. And they continue here. The Brainiac system suggests chem rounds, level 11. And this Peacemaker says, will do, though I can't guarantee the safety of the agent. And they're like, nobody's asking you to, Peacemaker. Copy that, Lazarus. Means life. So, peace at all costs, as they put the thing. And Superman says Sol, and that means sun in Spanish and Latin. And the AI says, I see it. And look at this. Destroys the missiles. And Superman grabs Lois here. And very nice. I really enjoy this type of art. Like I said, it's my cup of tea. And she smacks him again. This is Agent Lane. Suspect leaped due east, approximately 8 miles to the town of, and Superman's like, jam her transmission, and the AI's like, already done. So, and Superman says, I just saved your life several times, and you want to arrest me for it? And Lois says, no, you willfully endangered my life by trying to escape lawful custody, which you're not going to do, she says. And so she says, you endanger everyone by being whatever the hell you are. What are you? And Superman says, just another child of the dirt trying to get by. And Lois says, she says, right, so you're a hippie who's bulletproof and can jump really far. Is it the suit that makes you special? Whose soul? People have the right to know. And Superman says, since when does Lazarus Corporation give a damn about anyone's right? We're all just a bunch of livestock to people like you. And Lois says, you don't know any people like me, Sunshine. Believe me. And Superman's like, arrogant, cares only about herself. angry at anyone who thinks isn't as smart as you, which is usually everyone who opens their mouth in your vicinity. You're everything that's wrong with your planet, says Superman. My planet, huh? And the AI is like, stop talking, Kal-El. Stop talking right now. And he, in a low voice, he's like, she's not worth talking to anyway. Could you get these cuffs off already? And she's like, so what's your planet? And then you get this big boom here. Oh, very nice. And Superman goes, everyone get out of the streets. Get somewhere safe. And so you see the little star here. It tells you that it's being translated from Portuguese. I love it in Marvel that it would just give you these little, I forgot, parentheses or something right there where you would know that everything in there would be that foreign tongue. Anyway, do you see? This is what Lazarus thinks of us. These people are not your playthings. These are the people of steel, as he throws that car and hits that tank here. This is the heli tank, Bravo. We're hit. We're going down. And, oh no. Probably Superman here. And then another big crash here. And they're screaming out, the sunstone dust will shield you. Never mind me, just go, says Lois. And so, here goes. All right. And so, we get Lois Lane's thoughts here. She's writing I think this would be Lois. Lazarus Field Agent After Action Report. Lajes Creek Incident. My first thought was that it had to be the suit, but while the subject's advanced battle suit does display otherworldly properties, possibly including some level of sentience, after direct observation, this agent can say with profound certainty, and you can see Lois holding on to this child here, it isn't the suit. This Superman is plenty super all on his own. And you can see him here protecting everybody here. The full extent of a subject's powers remains uncharted. It is my impression that even he does not fully understand the limit of his abilities, as if this is all relatively new to him as well. And so you can see here that they saved all these people here, him and Lois Lane here. And she continues, in some ways, Superman is very much still a boy who hasn't yet fully deciphered who he is. The other ways, he is every bit a man with an ethos that seems unshakable. So, all right. It's okay. Don't be afraid of the dust, says Superman. Subject switches from a shy, soft-spoken demeanor to a more confident, commanding presence, depending on the circumstances. And so Superman continues, it can treat your wounds now. Stand back. Without either facet coming across as an affectation, it feels like a man who cannot help but be earnest, as Superman is using his super breath here. Cooling this off here, who could never lie even if he needed to. And he's using his heat vision here and kind of screams out, we know from the other sightings that he has traveled the globe. He speaks multiple languages, but somehow he still has the air of a lost child, of a life in some way interrupted, of a son without a home. A deep mistrust of authority seems ingrained. Suspect will prove quite difficult to coerce or apprehend. Despite repeated attempts, this agent never really had a chance. And so you can see here she is ready to hit him with the gun, but then, or blast him again, and then she lets it go here. So, suggest course of action, further study, intense study. I hereby formally request a full-time Superman assignment. Agent Lane's private notes. He smelled like oak barrels full of burgundy, stored for 1,000 years in a musty basement. He smelled amazing. And Superman says, thank you. And Lois says, I didn't. I mean, you did all the, what is that? You're welcome, she says here. Great panel. Like I said, this is my type of art that I truly enjoy here. And And Superman says, there is a place in the Arctic Ocean, S- S- V- Svalbard, Valbard, I don't know, islands, with more polar bears than people, where the sun sometimes shines on for days on ends. But when it's night, you can't see you can see more stars than you can possibly imagine. So many of those stars are orbited by nothing but chunks of rock and methanes. Do people have any idea how precious a place this is? I'm a child of one of those sons of nothing, my planet. And Lois is like, what are you trying to say? My planet was called, and then finally, the cuffs open here. Wait, don't. Just let me, he says, and Superman takes off. And here comes the Lazarus people. You were all, and so this must be Brainiac, as we saw from the previous issue. You were alone with the subject for an extended period of time. What is your frank and honest appraisal of Superman? Um, and she goes, well, and Brainiac continues, how grave of a danger would you rank the subject on a scale of 1 to 10? And Lois says, I would rank him as a danger at all. Not in that, sorry, I wouldn't rank him as a danger. She says, not in that way. And Lois continues, he's incredibly powerful, yes, but still raw in some ways. But I don't think he's looking for a fight. He doesn't strike me as someone we ought to. And Brainiac says, ranking of 8, so noted. And she says, wait, no, that's not. And Brainiac asks, do you feel that the threat he poses warrants neutralization, or can Superman be controlled? And Lois says, no, he can't be controlled. He's not. Agent advises termination, so noted. And she's like, damn it, you're not listening, stupid computer. She hits the monitor. And he says, this completes your after action report. The Brainiac algorithm thanks you. And so the agent goes, all right, Elaine, sounds like you're done. Go ahead and get out of here. Nice work today. And Lois says, no. I don't think I'm done, she says. How's that with my report? And this guy says, well, Brainiac. And she says, I know what the automated system said, but and she continues here, you don't understand what it was like flying with the guy, walking through fire with him, his dust in my hands. I think I need to write this report myself. And the guy's like, but you hate writing reports. She says, I know. Nobody hates writing reports more than you. And Lois says, yes, but. And the guy says, you once yelled at me for 30 minutes when I asked you to write motor pool requests. And she says, I know. This one just feels different. It's important I get my thoughts down accurately. My thoughts, not Brainiac's. And this guy's like, well, I don't know what you've done with Lois Lane, but whoever you are, good luck to you. And so she kind of ponders here and starts to write. So that is very cool. So now we're back in Krypton. And Cal's like, power outage. Come on, Crypto. Let's hurry before the clerics decide to turn the lights back on. And Jor-El says, do you really think it will work? Has it been field tested? And Lara says, you mean in outer space? Jor, I built this when I was 12 years old, but the numbers hold up. The design is solid. Exploratory spacesuit and rocket ship all in one. Yes, I believe it'll work. We're just going to need a lot more sunstone. And I mean, this prototype was made for a child. And Jor-El says, I'll handle the sunstone. I'll mine it myself. And Lara says, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. You haven't even finished testing the core samples. And Jor-El says, I know, Lara. We just have to be prepared for the absolute worst. And we need a plan before we go to the clerics. And Lara says, the clerics will never listen, not to us. You know that, right? And she continues here. And even if they did, it would take years to build enough ships to save all of Krypton. and you can see that creating stuff. And Jor-El says, and if I'm right, Lara, we don't have years, so we'll have to make them listen. They're scientists. They can't deny the truth. And Lara says, we're a miner and a mechanic from the Redlands, and they're the Science League. The truth is what they say. So if they won't listen, says Lara, and Jor-El interrupts, if they won't listen, then I steal all the sunstone I can carry, and you build us a ship big enough to hold everyone we love. And you see the hug, very nice. And Lara continues here. And then, my love, we hold fast to each other with all the steel in our hearts and lava in our veins. And we aim for the star as Superman plays with Krypto. This is just beautifully done. I truly am enjoying this. So now we're back on Earth here. Superman's putting on a hoodie. Lazarus means death. Join the Omega Men. And so he's going into Venezuela here. And Lois writes that report. She goes, damn, that's actually felt good. And here, written by Lois Lane. And so we get these guys here taking sample. Peace has a price. Peace has a price, says one of the peacemakers. Smith, you all right? Yeah, shouldn't you be with the medics? And Smith says, all he did was look at us, and it was like we were wrapped in tinfoil, locked in a microwave. And these guys here, yeah, I've seen some crazy things since I signed up with Lazarus, but nothing like whatever the hell that guy was. Bet you every single one of these bastards knows where he's hiding. They don't get it. Don't appreciate everything we've done to pull them out of the mud. Yeah, well, Smith, that's the job, isn't it? What are you going to do? Teach them. Teach them that peace has a price and shoots at the people. Next, the last days of Krypton. Wow. So, Absolute Superman, Jason Aaron is the writer. Rafa Sandoval is the artist. Wow, oh wow. What a story here. So, Absolute Superman number 2 came out last month, November, of 2024. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.